Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Build and Invest show. Today is day 4. I'm still building the thumbnail AI agent. Today, we're adding a new feature. So, we're going to start from scratch. I haven't even started adding this feature yet. So, you'll see how that works. Um, I guess if you don't know me, my name is Miguel Sanchez. I build things to help humanity. At least that's how I hope it works out. I've built AI agents to help people own more assets. I built nonprofits, for profits. Now we're in this time where AI is here, and I'm really trying to take the most advantage of my previous experience and skills in this new AI age. So, what I'm doing here is I am building in real time so people can see, demystify how things actually work, hopefully motivate people to move and start using this stuff. We don't know where everything is going, but we do know the people who will benefit the most are the people that know how to use this technology, no matter what industries they're in. So my goal is to help as many people as possible use these technologies. But myself, I'm using them to create more leverage in everything I'm doing. First thing I'm doing is I'm creating content, right? So as I create content, I want more and more leverage of that content. So I'm basically building things to do that. So a thumbnail AI agent is an employee on my team that anytime I need a thumbnail, it will get called, it will know what to do, it will do it, it will post it, just like a person. So right now, what we're starting today is the feature we're building is, and I'll start sharing my screen right now. All right. So the feature we're gonna add today, which this one it seems to be working. We'll put it in gray for now to see if there's any issues later. But the new feature that I'm going to do is this one. So this is a um something I spoke about before. So basically, when you go through YouTube, you will tend to see thumbnails that are kind of like popular, and you'll see that. And actually, let's look through now YouTube, and I can show you what I mean. You can see pretty quickly that there are thumbnail styles that are starting to be popular. So that's interesting. That's what it looks like when I'm live. All right, so let's just scroll and see if we can see any patterns, right? So we see a thumbnail style that we think is showing up a lot. This one I have seen a lot, like the F it, I'll show you how I did it. That I've seen a lot, but the design is not really anything different. Okay. And of course, when I'm looking now, I can't see them as quickly, but on my main YouTube, maybe I'll pull that up. This is one where you can see it has these three options. It's like slit in three, and there's three things. I've seen that one a few times, but I won't start there. But let me take a screenshot of that just in case this one is the one we decide to do. So okay, that's the first one that I've seen a few times. Kind of. I seen something where people are holding up, or something with the clawed icon, but I don't know. I won't. This is another one where there's an arrow pointing. It's something with an arrow pointing to it. I've seen that as well a lot lately. Okay. See, arrow pointing. Um, arrow pointing. Oh, look at my thumbnail from yesterday. Nice. Um, all right, that one I gotta add a thumbnail to that one. So I guess the arrow, I gotta add a thumbnail to that one too. So we'll probably do that today too. Add thumbnail. Look at that one too. There's a bunch of them that don't have thumbnails. Also, I've seen a lot where it has the text and that line with a bar behind it. You can see it even within two of these. So maybe we'll do this as well. So there's like a box with a word and then other words without the box behind it. See, you keep seeing that. Also, this tweet look, I've seen that a few times just scrolling. Maybe I'll take a screenshot of that as well. Oops, did a whole. So that's another one. I had another one, but I don't think I saved it to my computer. Let me see if I can see it. I don't think I did though. I think I saved it on my phone, but I'm using my phone as my camera right now. So, okay, I think that's enough. I wanted to see if I see one that I've seen is very, very different. Yeah, of course, I can't see it. We'll get back to it. Once we know it's doing what it's doing, I'll try that one maybe tomorrow. And I'll look for more. See again, the box, the tweet kind of thing. So you can see, like, see the box. So people start to use, everybody starts to use the same thing because they think it's working on YouTube. The box again, you see text with the box below it, text with the box below it, text with the box below it, arrow, text with the box below it. So, all right, that's enough. I think, guess that's enough for now. I'm just hoping I would see the one I was really thinking about. Text with the box below it, text with the box below it. Icon again, the Anthropic Claude icon, text with the box below it, 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 arrow. You see? So you can start to see the patterns, right? The arrow, same thing, same person. Text the box below it, tweet. All right, so I think we got the main of the tweet again. Text with the box below it. I'm really hoping to see one that I've seen so many times, but today I can't see it. All right, let's just end it here. All right, so we're gonna use those. So that's a little hack right there for YouTube, basically. Like, if you can look for things that people are doing and copy them, you will benefit because those are like tried and tested thumbnails, right? So if you can use that, then you will benefit from the testing that they did. So, okay, let's start by going to the local host. Actually, let me ask it first. We're going to go, we're going to start the process. Okay, I want to also have a feature where I can have trending thumbnails styles that we also consider in our 6. So what I want to do is have maybe a set of trending video images that we can use, and I'll update them. And over time, my goal is for you to help me find trending thumbnail designs for us to use. So right now, I went through, I found a couple. So I want to be able to give you those and make sure a few of the 6 have some of the trending styles. How can we build that? So again, that's it. Just really talk to it like it's a person. see what it asks. It may ask me questions. It may just get it right away or think it gets it right away. Actually, I messed up. I should have asked for the confidence score. That was a thing that I've been doing in other places. So once I see where this is going, I'll try to get the confidence score. Okay, so while we're doing that, we could keep looking for other thumbnails. Arrow again. Arrow again. Text the box below. Text the box below. Text the box below. Text the box below. See, so it's a known thing, I guess, in the thumbnail space that you look for the trending thumbnail styles and you create similar things because people get used to clicking, and if they see something similar, they will click, especially if it has the catch, the thing that catches them. Okay, still going. Yeah, text with the box below and arrow is looking like the most right now. And then eventually, I may want to create a style. So, like, if you look at this guy, all of his kind of have a style that he sticks to. So maybe eventually I do that as well. Have my own style. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let me check that out. All right, going live. Any questions while we wait for this to build? So right now I'm trying to figure out how to create this style thing, and right now it's doing a pretty good job. Let me show you. If you weren't here yesterday, the thumbnails are getting better and better, looking more like me. Um, so this one I actually updated. It was this one, didn't really look like me, and I said, "Can you make it look like me?" And it added me to it with the same similar design. So that was what we were trying to fix yesterday. So today the feature that I want is the style of the thumbnail that is trending, because my ultimate goal is, remember, this is going to be an AI employee. So first thing I'm going to have it do is understand, once it finds a style, how to make sure we are using that style. Then eventually go look for the style, just like I did. Scroll, see what you see, and if you see something consistently, make that a style, right? That we start using. And again, there's a lot more things. I'm going to go through all the data I've ever learned about making thumbnails, and I'm going to add that to the learning of this. But it's getting better. Like this one, I feel like really looks like me. Um, looks like me, I think. Doesn't really look like me much. Doesn't look, but it's better than this, right? So it's getting better. So actually, let's work on, while we wait, while it builds. Let's work on the ones I don't have thumbnails for right now. So okay, let's open up my YouTube studio. Okay, so, and my channel is slowly growing. Thank you for everybody watching, subscribing, liking, put on notifications. Slowly growing. At the end of the day, I'm in it for the long haul, learning. Okay, so let's start with this one. I'm going to copy that title. Look, okay, here's the plan. Add reusable trending thumbnail style pack. Implement backend style storage data metadata API endpoints. So see, it's going through the plan. Extend thumbnail project creation. Update thumbnail UI for managing style packs. Validate the flow. Update the AI handoff. See, that's all. That's what it's doing right now. It's going to take some time. So while we wait, let's make some thumbnails. All right, that's going to cost me about 83 cents. And you know what's interesting? Let me see how much time I got with my free credits. They're about to run out, probably. Gotta find where that API is. I'm gonna have it open somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to look for that another day. Because I know I'm running out of time with my free credits. Actually, let's see. Okay, here it is. Look at this. So I started this in December, late December. Had $300 free credits, and I'm still got $105 of free credits. But I do think it ends. So it ends March. It ends in 10 days. So I'm gonna go a little bit harder right now and try to spend these credits in the next 10 days, and then I'm gonna switch the email address to go to a whole new $300 free credit. So I got 10 days to spend $105. All right, look at that. See, okay, this secret thing, again, very similar to something else it made. Pretty much exact same image, same text. That's another problem I see. The text is kind of like copied a lot. So I'm going to want to add something to make that better. That's probably the next feature I do. And again, I don't know. I'm building things I need, and if you want to watch while I do that, that's cool. But if you want other things, if you want to learn from what else, anything else, just let me know. Right now, I am building to create leverage for myself, but I do think since I'm doing these things live, I want to learn from you guys as well. What should I be doing? So right now, that's funny. Again, though, it is copying the same text. All right, we gotta add something to that. All right, so we're gonna add that to the feature request area. Where did I put that? Okay, I'm going thumbnail. Okay, here it is. Okay, I think this is gonna be the next thing. Update the text to have better copy on the actual thumbnails. I think right now it's copying the same lines over and over again. We're gonna have to give it education on the best things to do there. So this is next. I'm gonna do this tomorrow maybe. All right, it finished. Now let's look at these. It thinks this one. See, I don't think this looks like me. I'm gonna say this does not look like me. But I don't love this design anyway. The fact that it thinks it's the best one, that's crazy to me. But it's AI. It must know something I don't. All right, so I'm gonna say disagree. I'm gonna say 15, 20, 30%. Let's just say. Okay, so now let's see if it moves. It moves it from its location. Yep, it did. Okay, so this kind of looks like me. Not that much either, but more than that other one, I think. I don't love it either. I'm gonna say this doesn't look like me. I'm gonna say it's like 75. Disagree, 75. Let's see if that moves it. I guess as long as it's not 25, they'll go. And the truth is, you'll see people creating AI thumbnails and they don't look like them either. We all know what's up. It's going to get better. We're just all trying to build until it gets perfect. So I like this one. I'll try these three. So let's do that. So now I'll download these three. 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna update the gonna let it keep working while we update other thumbnails. Okay. Where is... Okay, this is the one. Okay, so now I go into A/B testing. I take the ones we just did. 2, 3. And that's it. Eventually it will even do that for me. Another thing I forgot to do is I gotta add, just in case if somebody watches all the way, what this does is it makes it go to the next best video in my library. And you want to do that if you're, you know, content creator, because if somebody is watching your stuff and they can binge watch your stuff, you want to make it easy. Okay, so this is the next one we're gonna do. Let's see. As you can see, that took me very little time. If you think about it, like if I had to hire someone to do that, it would have took a lot longer than that, right? Literally, let's count. Let's count now to see once I... Oh, this is the old one. But I'm gonna refresh. We're gonna start. Let's count the clock. Let's start the clock. All right. So we're gonna say it's 7:24. Let's see how long it takes for us to have good thumbnails based on this title, and have them uploaded, right? So that's a thing as well, because uploading all the way, it's the whole job. It's not just making it. Okay. All right. So, okay, 1 minute. Thumbnails are being created. Wow, we have a whole nother feature being created over here. We're pumping out some thumbnails. And I'll be honest, this was a big challenge for me when I went into YouTube. Even though I knew Photoshop, trust me, making stuff like this in Photoshop is not easy. It's not easy. Like, it can take hours. So first of all, I will have to take that picture. Then I will have to come up with the concept, lay it out, make all these pieces, which again, not easy. All this stuff is not easy. That took like not even a minute. And yes, maybe you don't love them, and I don't love them either yet. I think they're better than I would do right now. So again, the way I use AI is I do things I wouldn't have time to do using AI. I still do the things I have to do, but I'm trying to get AI to leverage for me and do things I wouldn't be able to do. So this is something I would never be able to do. Can't make 6 thumbnails a day. So far, we made 12 thumbnails today. That would have took all day. And it cost me $1.70 by now. Not that much. And a few minutes. Okay, we're on 2 minutes here. Time is clicking. I kind of like this cartoon one. So I'll let it do its thing. Well, now, all right, 5 out of 5. look kind of like me. This one I don't think looks that much like me, but it's still, there's no random Mexican guy this time or random Indian guy yet. All right. All of them kind of look like me. All right. So let it do its calculation of which is the best click through rate. I do agree that this does look a lot like me. This one doesn't look as much like me. I'm going to disagree on this one and lower it. I think this looks like a cartoon version of me. This one kind of looks like me. This one looks like me. This one could look like me too. Cool. Let it do its thing. Click through rate 7.6. Okay. Interesting. Thinks that one is best. Second best. That's third best. Huh. I guess these are all tie. What do you think? Anybody over there thinking? Let's see. All right. I think I'll take this one. Yes. I don't know. I kind of like these two. I don't really like this. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna upload those. So all right, that took 4 minutes, and it might have been quicker. I just wasn't looking at the time when I was choosing. 4 minutes to create 3 thumbnails. You cannot tell me this is not crazy times we live in. I actually think this is my crazy take. I think we're gonna get to the point where, if you ever watch Star Trek, if you're a nerd like me, we're gonna have the replicator one day, probably in our lifetimes. What's the replicator? Replicator is where in Star Trek they just had this thing that will make anything. But if you think about it, we're already on the way there, because right now we can remake any pixel based on all the data. The next step to make a replicator is remake any atom based on the data. So we already figured it out for pixels. I think eventually we figure it out for atoms. I don't know how many years. Could be 100 years. But it could be 1,000 years. But it's going to happen, I think. That's my crazy take of the day. So let's make a new thumbnail. That was good. First try, no changes, getting better. Learn. Actually, let me teach it. So this one, I agree. That really does look like me. Okay, now the next one. I'm gonna say 80. 80. Disagree. 80. That one. Okay, next one. I think that really looks like me. I agree. I'm gonna say I agree on this one too. Agree. It's just cartoon. I don't really think it totally looks like me, but I'm gonna give it a 80, maybe 5, not 80, whatever. I'm gonna do 80. Let's see this one. I'm gonna give this a low score. I want it to know that does not look like me. Okay, it has kind of things that look like me, but it doesn't look like me. Okay, so now we're gonna make a new thumbnail. And let's see if it learns. Alright, so while I'm building that thumbnail, what else were we doing? First is building. Still building the next feature. Code checks are green. I'm pulling the beats. Alright, so it looks like it's almost done on that new feature. So that's going to be cool to check. Also looks like my OpenClaw team has been working all day getting us ready for our AI agent customer grand opening. Actually, that's a good video. That's a video idea I'm gonna create. AI agent grand opening. Now stores open. It's like grand opening for humans. Stack is about to have its AI agent grand opening, and maybe I'll make a whole animation about that. With testing, actually, I downloaded a second agent called Hermes. Hermes is like a self-improving agent. So I downloaded it today. I gave it the Stack repo and all the documents, and it came back with really good feedback that we started implementing it today. When I say we, I mean the AI team. And my developers too are taking the information and adding it to what we're doing. All right, nice. Okay, the secret. See, I hate the fact that it keeps using the secret thing. I'm gonna have to really work on that. That's gonna be the next thing. I'm going to get all the education about thumbnails. Okay. Again, like it's way better. It looks like me a lot more percent of the time than even the stuff I used to use before. I used to use an app called FreePick. I was paying $45 a month and I wasn't even using it. Aha, I got the Mexican guy again. But again, we're gonna try to fix it. So we're gonna see if it will fix it. I like that one though. I like that design. Just don't like that it don't look like me. All right. So that one's going. Basically today, while we wait for it to build, we're gonna just update all the thumbnails that haven't been done. So let me go over here. Go here. All right. All right, I finished with 2 Mexican versions of me. All right. So wait, it's still doing this rating thing. So now it costs 15 cents because part of it is there's an Anthropic cost as well. You know what I should do? I'm going to do that because I need to spend that anyway. Can we switch to using the Google LLM API instead of Claude for this right now? Let's see how this changes things. First of all, I'm paying for those Claude API calls. And right now I got $105 to spend in the next 10 days. Might as well see the difference on Google. And I might actually change it to Google. Anyways, using the API right now to make the images. So sure it has what it needs. And if it doesn't, I'll go do it. So, okay. So that's first thing. Second thing, let's update this one. I like this one. Okay, it's not me. Face. Can you make it look more like me? And you know what's interesting? It did the whole arrow thing. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. I don't know. I didn't even give it the images yet. Somehow maybe it knows. Alright, so it's regenerating the face. Okay, I can't switch it, but before I patch the model names, I'm verifying current Google API model naming. Alright, let's go. Also verify the price per token so we can update the cost per thumbnail. Also, I want to have a full all of the thumbnail combined cost because the real cost is all of them, not just the one, right? So I want to know, okay, on this one I spent $5 to get this thumbnail. That wasn't on one, it was on all of them, you know? So, I did it again. It don't look like me. All right, this does not look like me. Let me let it finish though. Then I actually wonder. I don't want to break it. Let me chill out. All right, so we're gonna look for other thumbnails I gotta make. We're gonna just blast through all these thumbnails. And actually, this one got cut off. So there was two of the same video. So I'm gonna put, I'll have more thumbnails to put here. All right, so this is the next one. You can do almost anything now. Oh, I think I did that already. Yep, I did. I just never, oh, I must have put them on the wrong one. All right, that was a mess up. So I'll just do another one, do another set. Okay, I'll wait till this finishes. Oh, I moved. Oops. Okay, it did do it. It just doesn't look like me. And it knows it doesn't look like me as much. So I'm going to say disagree. It's like kind of a little bit, but it doesn't make me look like the Mexican guy, but it doesn't look like me. Okay, so let's do this. Actually, no, let's just go to the next one. Actually, I'm going to give it the full thing. Let's see what it does here. Let's see. All right. Okay. So it is updating to the Google API instead of Claude. I'm verifying the current official token pricing now. Then I'll switch to thumbnail prompt trends. All right. Patching the Google switch now. Telling you, this would have taken hours and hours and hours to do just 6 months ago. Maybe not 6 months ago. Maybe a year and a half ago. It did start getting better to do this kind of stuff, but not everything we're doing now. It would have been wrong a lot more times. Like right now, every time I do it, you see how it's right most of the times? Before, you would have to do it like 5 times, 10 times before it was right, 20 times before it was right. Now, first time, most of the time is right. Unless you didn't explain it right? Like sometimes it's wrong because I'm like, oh, I didn't explain that. Okay, so again, the same words. I gotta get this to change. This is a big problem. We'll change this next live. If you want me to build something else, let me know. I am kind of building stuff I need though. I am starting to figure out how to help businesses use AI. Stack, of course, is my main business that I'm trying to get AI agents to use Stack. Mass Ideation, I'm trying to make it a holding company that will build products that help humans using AI. Oh, that was nice. So I'm mostly spending my AI tokens on that, right? So this thumbnail thing is part of the bigger content engine, and that is the top of my leverage because now that I can build anything, now I just got to get to a bigger customer base, right? So how I get to a bigger customer base, I need to create more content, spend money on ads, or spend money on ads, or both. So first thing is, what they're saying now, the best thing to do is to make content and then make that the good content you create, make that your ads. So now I'm trying to figure out, okay, I got to create good thumbnails and titles for people to want to watch. Then I got to make better videos. So right now going live, that's good for a specific type of audience, but some people don't want to just hang out and watch. People want shorter clips, videos and clips. So I'm figuring that part out too. So okay, decent. Kind of looks like me. Kind of looks like me. Kind of looks like me. All right. Most of them kind of look like me. All right. I do like this one the most though. Okay, now it's rating them. It's rating their click through. Okay. I can go with that. 7.8. 9. I think that's the highest one I've seen so far. 8.9 is switching. It's assessing. 9? Really? I don't like that one. Okay, all thumbnails are generated and scored. It thinks this is the highest. You know what? I'm just going to take its word for it. And I'm going to do this. I don't really like it though. I like this one. All right, so I'm definitely going to do this one. They're both a 9 and I like this one better. Okay, between these two, which one do you think is better? I kind of like this one. All right, we're going to try that. We'll see. All right. But again, this is freaking crazy. Like, the fact that this is possible is so nuts to me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Done. Did I add the end screen? Nope. Add the end screen. Done. Updated. All right, there's more. Cancel. I didn't upload that one too. All right, I gotta upload these actually. Okay, I think that's all my lives got a thumbnail now except today's. Actually, today's. All right, let's see if we can do today's. All right, let's do today's. Actually, let's wait till this is done so we can take one of the trending thumbnail styles and see if it works. So I'm going to hang out on that for a minute. Let that finish. Of course, any questions, requests, whatever you want me to think about, build, let me know. Again, I am trying to figure out how to build things that people need. And again, I could just think of things I need, and I'm not normal. I'm dealing with AI all day, so I'm thinking of products that people building with AI need. But I do want to get back to, I want to leave the matrix for a little while and come up with things that regular people need. I do have one product I'm working on. Maybe I could talk about it. Should I talk about it? All right, you know what? I'll talk about it. So, okay. While we wait for this to build, what I'm working on now, let me change the look just so I could cut this better. What I'm working on now is one of my biggest challenges to creating Stack was financial literacy, right? Again, the bottom 90% own less assets than the top 10% combined. That's not a mistake. That's built into the system. They don't teach us how money works. So when I learned it, I was like, oh, okay, so the richest people, they're able to buy assets and then borrow off those assets because, one, they make money consistently and make a lot of money consistently. So if the prices drop, it doesn't really affect them because they're like, oh my God, my money's gone. I needed it. They can go long periods of time building up assets and borrowing off of them a lot less than they need to spend. So I built Stack, but what I realized is this is still a problem. This is still a problem for most people. Most of the customers I was trying to have create more assets, you know, especially right now, it's a bad job market. So imagine you're stacking and then you lose your job. You can't stack anymore. So I said, okay, I need to figure out a product that people spend every month on, no matter how wealthy they are. So I started researching with Claude, and cell phones came up. So cell phone service, right? We all pay our cell phone. And if you're not rich, you still pay your cell phone even before your rent, right? Because without a cell phone, there's literally no way you can make money. So I said, okay, what if I can make it so people can stack their cell phone service? So you could do that now manually by bringing in money to Stack, borrowing, and sending it back to your bank account and paying your cell phone bill. The problem is people's cell phone bills are pretty high. So if they were going to stack, they would need more than the cell phone bill. So what I said was, okay, what if I can find a way to get the cell phone bill for cheaper through a wholesaler, and then the bill will be the same they're already paying, and they will borrow to pay the lesser amount, but now they're investing that difference and the whole thing. So let's take the math. Let's say your cell phone bill is $100 a month. I'm just making math up right now. I don't know what people's cell phone bills are. I'm gonna create a website where people can put what they're paying, what they're, if they want to be a part of this type of project. And there's like an extra part of it that's really interesting. So let's say your cell phone bill is $100. You would deposit the 100, borrow, and then pay $60, $70 for the cell phone service. So now you're investing $100 a month and you're still paying your cell phone. So what I've been able to do is because what's crazy is I didn't even think about it as much as I should have, because I have been using a cell phone wholesaler for like a decade. Since multiple businesses ago, I've been dealing with this person. So I reached out to him and said, look, this is my idea. I want to make it where people can invest and still get cell phone service for cheap. I mean, not cheap, but like enough where they're getting good service and they're investing. So he was like, let's do it. So the second part of the idea is the only way things will change going forward is if people own the things they use. What I mean by that, because you can buy stock in Verizon, but do you really own Verizon? Not really. They say you get a vote, but do you? All right, so wait, let me finish this. Switch locally. The thumbnail prompt path uses Google. Okay. Instead of Claude. Awesome. I verify Google pricing. Let me see. So is that cheaper than Claude was? Because we were using 4.6 before. So what I think is we need to own the things we buy, and we need to kind of have communities of ownership of the things we buy, because if we don't, there's going to always be a conflict of interest, because the investors have the say. And if you are the customer and not an investor, you have no say. So I wanted a service that you're not only a customer, you're also the owner. So I'm calling this project Phone, PHOWN, own your phone service. But the idea is I'm going to do an equity crowdfunding, and I want to, they do this thing called testing the waters. Because in order to get investors for the business, it's either we take investors, regular investors, and then they own, or the customers are the investors, and they can invest $100, $500, $5,000, whatever they want to do. They can invest in the business. They own the business when it's the cheapest it will ever be. And as the business grows and grows and grows, that business gets more valuable. But there's more you can do once you're an owner. And I'm trying to figure out legally how to do some of this, so I don't want to talk about everything. But think about what you get when you are an owner of a company. I'm trying to give everybody who owns this phone service the same things that owners of businesses get. That's the most I think I can say legally during the testing the waters phase. Again, I got to put up a website. I got to get a form built, which again, I already kind of have it. I just got to figure out legally if it's good. So I just need to talk to a few people about that. But I can get up to 100,000 lines tomorrow. The problem is marketing, right? So I gotta think about a way where I get the marketing, and then I also have incentives for people to bring on other people, right? That's called the flywheel. Flywheel is when a person comes, uses the business, they invite others to use the business. So if a person comes in, they love it, they invite another person, now that creates a flywheel. So for instance, like my whole family uses this wholesaler because I've been with them for 10 years. So I know 10 plus years. So I know it's good. Never have any problems. It uses the top carriers. Basically, he's a wholesaler of top carriers. So there's never any problems with the top carriers unless there's a problem with the top carrier. And then there's nothing we could have done. But sometimes there is. Very randomly, one day a year, Verizon will have a problem. T-Mobile may have a problem. But generally, they're good. All over the world too, right? So the idea is I will create a service that you will invest in, use, and own. That's my goal. So phone.org is the website. I haven't launched it yet, but I bought the domain. And it's coming soon. There'll be a form to fill out, and we'll see how to gauge the interest, right? Like at the end of the day, if you don't want it, you don't want it. If you do want it, I can make it. I can make it so you pay for your cell phone service and get investments every month. And if you think about it, how long have you been paying for your cell phone? I just told you I've been paying for my cell phone, just one carrier for plus 10 years. Before that, since I was like, what, 18 years old? It's a lot of years of paying phone service. If I would have just been investing that money, borrowing to pay it, I'm going to do that math actually. That's a good point. I'm thinking. As I'm talking this out, that's my marketing because I've been paying for cell phone service for years. If I think about how much money it could have been invested, even at a small compounding interest rate, I would have had a lot more than I have right now. All right, so it is switched. Add thumbnail, prompt generation, variation, prompt rewriting. Okay, so now let's reset. Okay, trending slot, batch of 1, manage styles, new pack. All right, so we're gonna look for the images that we just took screenshots of, and let's see which ones we should add as a pack. I don't know about that one. Let's see. That's the box, text with the box. That's the 3 panel. That's the one that we already had. That was all I took. All right, you know what? So let's do the 3 panel. Just because it's one of the easiest to see. Now, you know what? Let's do the most popular, which is the box. Text with the box. Okay, so new pack style. Text with the box behind it. Source optional URL. I didn't know that. Okay, so I'll just drag it and drop it into here. I'll click to download. Wanted to drag and drop, but desktop. Okay, what makes this trend work? It looks like there's text and the most important words are behind a box, or one word is behind a box or in front of a box. One word is in front of a box. Okay, I don't know the URL. Create style. Okay, so now batch, one of the batch, I wanted to have that style. So, okay, we're going to now find the title of the video that we're about to make the thumbnail for. Where did I do that? Here. Okay, so there's a lot of new things in this one. Probably going to break. We got the Google API doing the LLM, which Claude used to do. We have the new thumbnail trend. So let's see. Oh, it didn't save. Shit. Oh, it did save. It saved. Hide styles. Okay. Something probably stalled out. Let's find out. It seems to be stuck. Is everything working correctly? Oh, it is. It looks like it's doing something. Something's coming up. All right. I actually wonder. Google is probably cheaper than Claude is. So now the thumbnail may be cheaper. Not that much. It was 0.01 cent less. But I'm glad I thought of that because I was just spending money on that I didn't have to. The whole process could be done by Google. And then now all that $300 is free. Okay, it's not stuck right now. The current run is active. Yep, okay. I see. Okay. I don't know if better or worse. Still hasn't done the theme. Oh, see, this one is gonna have the trend. It says it. That's funny. Before, after, new feature with AI. That one's pretty good. I built this. I don't know. Let's let it do its thing. I should have checked the time too. It might have been faster too because it's Google. AI with money. That's funny. That rhymes. Okay. Any questions? No. Same face. It keeps giving me that face. That's funny. I'm gonna keep saying that this doesn't look like me. But to be honest, it's been a lot worse. I've had thumbnails that look a lot worse than that. So it didn't really do the trend. So I'm gonna say that it didn't really seem to do the trend. I put this image and I explained that this is the trend where there's one word that has a box behind it, but it didn't do that. Here's what it did, and here's the thumbnail of the trend. Okay, so this is the thumbnail of the trend. Then I'm gonna download this and show it what it did. Yeah, okay. So we'll see. Let's see if we can fix it. But I like some of these actually. Let's see what this one kind of looks like me. Before, after is a little weird as the screen backwards. I don't really like that one. This one's cool. Kind of doesn't look like me here, but I kind of like the idea of it. Let me see if it will acquisition cost direct on this thumbnail. Okay, so but see how it's showing me. Look, I already spent 96 cents on all of these. That's what I wanted to see too. So like, cause you can get caught up spending credits and not realize how much actual money that is. All right, so I'm gonna say this looks like, let's say 75. I'm gonna see. It's not that bad to change. I'll leave it. To be honest, doesn't really look like me. It's decent though. Doesn't look like, none of them really look like me this time. Maybe that's a Google thing. A Google update. I don't know. Also, this time it didn't really look like me as much. Could that be a change from going from Claude to Gemini? So that's a good thing to always ask. Make sure it doesn't create new problems, you know? Because I did just, like I said, I added two things in the same. You don't want to do that. You don't want to add too many things at the same time because then you can't really tell what broke it. Um, it's another tech hack. But I'll be honest, I've been researching more and more, and I don't really know, even if what I'm doing right now, how valuable this is for how long, right? Like what I'm doing right now, building products. Right now, I'm doing it for myself, so I'm not selling this specific product. But like Stack is a financial product, I'm selling that. I don't know what digital products look like in a few years because if people can just remake their own versions of stuff, what I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to collect more and more data that will be hard for newcomers to compete with. So if in a year somebody tries to compete with me, I have a year more of data plus the 3 previous years of data that they can't match, right? And that's, now I'm really thinking about that. Like, okay, what's all the data points we should be collecting, not just with our customers, with just anything that connects to what we do. So we're really putting that in place. And today I did something very cool with that. So there's like internal stuff you got to think about as your business now. This is like Hunger Games. Like we all are like fighting to the death, trying to keep ourselves from universal basic income. But I did hear something that made me feel better about the whole situation, which was what's going to happen. I can see this happening too, is because the cost of things will come down for the entrepreneur, the cost of the product can come down, but also due to inflation, we'll have more money and things will cost less, right? So instead of inflation, the dollar amount circulating is more, but things cost more. The dollar value will stay similar, but it may come down, but things will come down and cost more, right? So that can create abundance, because imagine if you made the same amount you make today, but things cost a third of what they cost. Your cell phone bill, your car payment, your house, going to Florida or to Tahiti. That's a good outcome. So I hope for that one. Again, I have no faith in humanity. Hasn't really worked out well for anybody other than the rich. Which, truthfully though, in the past 100 years, the poorest of the poor have lived better than in previous generations. At least that's what they say. I don't know. I grew up in a place that was considered poor. We still had good lives. We weren't like starving. We weren't. It was a lot of crime, but we kind of were able to survive it. At least most of us. But I don't know what that's like in a country that's even worse than where I grew up. And it's, and I don't know how it goes when AI really hits, right? Because those people are probably not going to be able to change much about their situation. We're going to have to hope that their government does the right thing by them and gives them UBI. So the overall hope is, let's say the government says, look, we're going to start giving everybody $2,000 a month. You may be like, who can live off $2,000 a month? But what happens if the cost of everything comes down, right? So if it's $2,000 a month, but now your mortgage is $900. Your car is $200. Your car payment is $200. Your cell phone payment is $40, right? All these things, now that $2,000 covers your baseline. So that's another thing they say. They'll give you enough so you're not dead, but you're not happy, right? So your basic needs are covered. But if you want to do more, like you want to go to Tahiti, and Tahiti now, instead of costing $5,000, costs $700. Now you got to do something to make $700 extra. The government's not going to give you enough to go to Tahiti. They're going to give you enough for your car, your home, your meals, and they'll just cost less. That's the hope. I don't know, man. I don't trust any of this. I think we got to make as much money as possible while we can. We need to invest as much as possible while we can, because I just do not trust the past. All right, so it looks like it made an update. Let's see if we could fix that. I'm going to ask this one to be updated. New AI feature. See, what it doesn't have is, how can I update and make sure it does a trending video though? I mean, a trending thumbnail. Like right now, I want to try one more thumbnail, but I want to make sure it does the trending. And I don't really know if I can do that. Can you make maybe a button that I can press? All right, let's see about this. Any questions? No questions so far. Yeah, so this is where, like, I think, have you ever seen the movie, what's the name of it? Where they were like in a virtual reality. It was based on the book Snowcraft, I think. I forgot the name. But there's a movie where we're all in virtual reality. Most people make money online through a virtual. Damn, what was the name of it? And one of the things is everybody went live, and this was a way for them to do things. So I already see where like what I'm doing, and a lot of other people are doing. Not everybody, but the people who do it earlier are gonna benefit. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm also creating videos. I'm creating shorts. I'm creating faceless channels. I'm trying to create content in every single way. Learn how the content needs to be made because I think that is the new awareness, right? If you don't have some way of getting awareness to what you're building and what you're doing, you're dead in the water. Yeah, you can spend ads if you have money. If you don't got money, you're gonna have to make content, right? If you got and to be honest, even with money, if you're spending it all on ads, what I've heard, I haven't really built a business that was built on ads, but what I heard is ads start to diminish in how powerful they are. So you always got to be on this hamster wheel with ads. The best businesses are not built on ads. So you want to have something you can do for free that can bring in customers. Content is that. So I think that's the biggest skill to have. Storytelling, content generation, content leverage. That's what I'm doing and what I'm building. Um, but you still need some kind of product. Oh, I didn't even realize I was still on. Okay, so um all right, after this one we will see how that updates and then we'll go from there. Tomorrow I will be building the next feature which will give it more learning. I'm going to give it more learning on what creates good thumbnails. I have a bunch of stuff. I just got to go find it all. Then I'm going to give it kind of like a folder of information on what makes a good thumbnail with a high click-through rate. And then we're going to see how much better that does. Um, should I just create another? Nah, I don't want to do. Now let's let it finish. 3 minutes. It's been going. Let's see what's going on with my team, my AI team. Also, another thing I had to slow down because one of the things is as you spin up more agents, you spend more compute credits and you could run out, right? So, what I'm realizing is this is another hindrance for wealth generation, right? So, imagine if I could spend $20 a month, if you only could spend $20 a month and I could spend 200, I get more things I can build with that 200 every month. And it's not 10 times more, it's 20 times more. So they try to incentivize you to go from the 20 to the 200 by saying you get 20 times more compute than the $20 plan. So now because I have $200 and you have 20, I get 20 times more I can build. But now imagine a person that can spend 20,000 a day. There's people doing that right now. Imagine what they're building compared to what I'm building, compared to what you may be building. So there is still this wealth gap possibility, right? So this is again where if we owned our own LLM company and we paid ourselves and we decided what happened with this LLM company, we decided what it does, what it doesn't do, everything, then we make that money, right? But again, to make a LLM company is billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. So that's not realistic yet. I do think one day it will be. I think these models will get cheaper and cheaper to create yourself, just like every tech. So maybe in 5, 10 years, it may cost $1 million to do what ChatGPT just did for 100 billion, right? So now, is it better to just create your own? There'll be open source versions that are free. So this is the world we head into, and yeah, nobody likes change, but it comes no matter what you like, and I think we need to just get prepared and be ready. And one of the biggest things is financial literacy, because the sad truth is most people have no idea that this is even coming, have no assets at all. They're just hoping to keep their job, because another thing is if they lose their job, they're immediately screwed. They can't wait 6 months to get another job, a year to get another job, 5 years to get another job. And the government hasn't put UBI in place yet. So what happens if jobs start going away very quickly? And there's this thing that just came out where this guy, one of the guys who started OpenAI, he put out an open source project that tracks the jobs and how likely they are to be taken away through AI and what is happening right now through public data. And he put out a whole thing about what jobs are at risk and what is happening right now. I'm going to load that project up. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But man, it's bad. It's already happening. So okay, let's see. After a hard refresh, let's do it. Hard refresh. Where was I? Okay, after a hard refresh, open a thumbnail. In the make variation block, you'll see generate variation, add new random, add new trend. All right, cool. So we're gonna do that. Let's take this one. Add variation, add new trend. Okay. Make this look more like me. Add new trend. Oh, was it going every time I pressed it? It didn't even look like that. Yep. Ha! So it was just doing it. I spent some more money on this one. Okay, let's see what comes back. I think this is a good place to start wrapping up. Yeah, so basically, this, I think to our previous generation, this wouldn't look like work. What I'm doing right now doesn't look like work, right? I'm just talking to a computer, it's doing something. And even my previous life where I'm just on a computer all day, barely moving, people leave the house, people come back from school, work, and I'm still in the same place. It's like, oh, you don't even work. I am working, but this is how my work looks. What does work in the future look like? I don't know. I think this does allow for more movement. Like I can be standing and doing this. I could be walking in the park and doing this. So that's cool. But again, we'll see. It's also what employers want. If you have your own business, you can do whatever you want, but then you got to find people who want to pay for that business. And that means you got to create ads or content to find them. A job means you got to find a way to get the job. That's your marketing. But I also think making videos and content will help people get jobs. So I think do whatever you got to do to stand out right now. Whatever you got to do. And also do as much that you think people won't do right now. So as I said, I'm going live. I'm making videos. I'm making shorts. I'm trying to write a book. I'm trying to learn how to use multiple AI agents at the same time. I'm creating partnerships for other businesses that may work or may not. So I'm doing everything. I'm meeting with business owners that want to use AI, and I'm having them consult. I'm consulting for them, right? So they're paying me to help them. Everything I'll do whatever I gotta do, because again, my job is not 100% safe either. I don't got millions of subscribers, By the way, subscribe if you're watching. Like notifications. I don't have millions of people watching me that the algorithm pays me good advertisement, or a small percentage of those people buy from me and can fund my lifestyle from the rest of my life. That's not the case. So I gotta build up those pieces. One is create the content that people like, that will make them want to follow me, so I get more ad revenue and more potential sales on my products. I have to create those products. I have to create good products so people want to keep paying for them. And I have to also hedge my bet if what I'm creating, content and products, may not be needed as much in a few years. I don't know. So I'm doing all. I'm doing as much as I can each day with all the compute I pay for. Um, and that's the goal, pretty much. That's how I think everyone needs to think about it. And yeah, you might not be thinking about it with compute, but you should. Like every day, let's say you pay $20 a month for ChatGPT. Are you maxing that out? Are you making sure you ask it questions every day to help you make more money in the next 5 years? Not just using it like Google 2.0, using it as a thought partner. A lot of times I'll have people DM me, call me, and ask me questions, and I'm like, did you ask ChatGPT this? Did you ask Claude this? Oh, no, I didn't really think of it like that. And I'm like, I'm not telling you not to call me. I'm basically telling you this is how you got to start thinking. Before I ask a person, let me ask this. Whatever tool you use, Gemini, Google, Claude, Perplexity, whichever, Grok, whichever, the free ones, right? Again, so this is a movement, right? We gotta get back on computers. That's another big thing. Like a lot of this is being done on a computer. A lot of people don't have computers, so you might need to get a computer. If you're watching me on a phone, you don't have a computer, you might want to invest in a computer, because I don't know if you can do this on a phone. I don't think you'll ever be able to do this on a phone. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But I don't know how you're going to be able to build products on a phone. Maybe. Possible. All right. This is taking long, though. Let me make sure it is not stuck. Okay, I made a variation, but it's taking a while. I want to make sure it's working. So let me... Oh, as soon as I said it, something changed. Okay, it just left. Guess I didn't do it. Let's see. It's checking now. I'm checking the live local server, the newest thumbnail project now, to see the variations. So yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff we got to really be thinking about. There is a lot of people are saying the opportunity is consulting with businesses that don't know this. So even if you're watching this, if you've never played with it before, start copying what I'm doing. I mean, this is a far along, but I basically started this by just talking to the AI and saying, I want to create something that helps me create more content. That's how it started. Because I know I need to create more content, but I kind of don't want to be on camera all the time. Right? So that was where it really started. Because I know, like, there's faceless videos. It isn't stuck right now. The latest project is finished. What? But I created variations and nothing showed up. It showed it for a second and then it just disappeared. Hard refresh. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it made the variation. Which one did I choose? I think it was that one. But we made some updates. We made some good updates today. We changed the LLM to Google. So it's going to start costing me more on the Google side, but it'll be less cost on the Claude side, which I should have thought of that a while ago. Then we made the trending feature. Tomorrow I'm going to load it up with information on what makes a good thumbnail. and we'll go from there. Let's see if this updates. Let's just take this update and see what happens, and then we'll go from there. Any questions? Of course, like I said, like, subscribe, notification. Trying to do this every day, 7 p.m. Eastern. Trying to do stuff that I think will help you, but also helps me. I could have just talked for the whole hour or hour plus, but I want to show you how to do this stuff too. Okay, context compacted. Check the current handoff. Then I'll trace why a card can briefly appear, then disappear. All right, that's good. It's updating the handoff. Oops. Today I also had something happen on my OpenClaw where it filled up my whole hard drive with data. So again, if you're running OpenClaw, the real trick there is just opening Codex or Claude Code and saying, "Hey, can you fix this?" So it did. And this is where we just live in amazing times. I remember, see this right here, where the text is changing itself. Many years ago, when I first started programming, I had a dream that the text, the code would change itself, and it's pretty surreal now to actually see it happen. And it didn't look like this. It looked like the Matrix, but like real code, and the code was changing. It was a dream, but it's so crazy to see this now. And but again, that was probably like 2005. I had that dream, and I remember telling people about it. Like, I think one day, I didn't think about it as an LLM. I just thought the variables of the code will recognize themselves to change. That's how I thought about it. Like, the functions would be variables. That's how I thought about it. Like, what if every function is a variable that can change on its own based on what it learns? So I didn't think of LLMs, but I thought it would change based on what it's doing. Again, now seeing this is just crazy. Just another funny thing in life. Save project data is a bigger clue. Current project still has only 6 entries, so this wasn't a hidden card issue. On the run, the variation entry never made it into project JSON. All right, there you go. All right, it did fix something. I have enough context to test this directly now. Plan trigger a variation against the current project from the API. All right. I guess while this is doing that, maybe I could find the project I was telling you about. All right, yeah, here it is. So, okay. He made a GitHub project that you can. Yeah, here's the fully interactive version. I guess that's not working. Uh, I don't know. People are playing around with it. But basically, I'm going to load it up. But the idea is you can look at the job market and you can see if it has green is not touched, I think it was. Um, and you can see the ones that have a high likelihood of being replaced. Software developers, you see the dark reds. Uh, customer service, general office clerk, bookkeeping, financial, is that clerks? Right, and then the ones that have low green are hard laborers and mineral miners. I think that's what it says. Movers. Mineral movers? I don't know. It's so small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. No, it's not getting bigger. So this is interesting. I'm gonna actually get it working on my computer. We could look through it tomorrow. Instead of building, maybe we do this tomorrow. I'll keep building the thumbnail and come back to you guys about it. Unless you want me to keep building, I don't know. I think this is more value to start seeing how the top AI people are showing the data. That this is not, yeah, in 5 years. No, what's happening right now? And this is like taking public data. Let's get the full idea. Some people explain. Most of the people seem to be focusing on the wrong chart and conclusions from Kompati Sensei's AI exposure job link since he's deleted it. You can access it from the Wayback Machine. Oh wow, that's interesting. So Wayback Machine, if you don't know what this is another technical cool thing. Some organization just takes copies of old websites and saves them on a database, and you can reference them. So this is a good trick if somebody says, "Oh, I used to do this." You can look it up on the Wayback Machine if it's really true. Karpathy scores every U.S. job for AI exposure. The key to avoiding AI disruption is simple. Just have a low income and little education. Flawless strategy. Sarcasm. Karpathy's jobs page really is a nice snapshot of who gets hit first when efficiency becomes the product. So he must have got some slack about this. So look, okay. Minimal 6.2. Okay, so people with under 35K, your job is pretty safe. Over 100K, your job is pretty at risk. Guess why? Because people rather not pay 100K, right? So, okay, bachelor's degree at the biggest risk. High school education, lowest risk. Doctors, high risk. Masters, high risk. Post-second associates, lower but higher than high school degree. Guess what I have? I have only associate's degree, so I'm less at risk. I never graduated from 4 year. I finished my associates. I tried to figure out what I was gonna do for 4 year, but I already had a job. I went into the job market. I'm like, in my job, you don't need a degree, a bachelor's degree. You just need to know how to do stuff. So I never finished. Why pay that extra money when I was already making money? And that's gonna be a question now for people. Like, why go to college right now and pay? There's a big meme going around. People like, oh, I just paid 250 grand for a degree and I can't find a job. All right, it's almost 5 minutes. All right, we're almost done. Almost done. Very, very interesting times. Um. Bitcoin mirroring 2022 move for move. That's pretty cool. Human orgs are not legible. The CEO can't see, feel, zoom in on any activity in their company. With real-time stats, etc., I have no doubt that it will be possible to control orgs on mobile with voice, etc. That's Karpathy again. But with level of legibility, will that be optimal? With this level of legibility, that makes sense. Not in principle, but asymptotically, but in practice and for at least the next round of play. So what he means, I think, is all right. Expectation. The age of the IDE is over. IDE is when you code into a coding app. Reality, we're going to need a bigger IDE. I think what he's saying is like a business operation IDE, which makes sense. I could see that. In a way, I am starting to build that with my OpenClaw. Um, it is really starting to understand everything about Stack specifically, but Stack is one business in my ecosystem. It's my main business, but I started it there. It's gonna fully understand that, understand how I run that, how we should. It's gonna give me feedback, give me better things to do. Then I'm gonna take it to the next thing, which we'll see what it is. It could be the phone thing. It could be the consulting thing. Um, Consulting and courses and community stuff, which I think that's gonna be the second one. Um, and phone is something I'll put out there. I'll create content. I'll create ads around to try to see if the interest is there, because now it really doesn't make sense to build things without having interest. Because you could build anything. You could build it in a week. So you might as well know you got interest before you build it. So for instance, when I built Stack, I had spoken to 100 different people that were like, yes, I like that. I would do it. So I built it, right? Now, that's another whole ball game, right? If I started from scratch and I had to get 100 people, if I didn't have a social media presence, that's a lot harder. I had to call up people one by one. And of course, most people are like, yeah, I'll do that. And they won't, you know? So you got to get real data on, are people going to do this before you spend the money and the time and the coin and the tokens, right? The tokens are going to be a thing. Kill those server cleanly. All right, looks like it's almost done. 8 minutes of work. That's really like 2 hours of human work. Okay, so that's interesting. Seed dance, like, there's another thing, right? If you were, and like I was an animator at first. That's what I went to college for. Um, this kind of stuff would have took months and a whole team. It's another opportunity for doing stuff you never could do before. So this is another goal of mine. I want to create a storytelling engine with part of Navo, my content engine. I want to just have. I want. This is a big statement, and not based on politics at all. I want to be a merge of Elon Musk and Walt Disney. Elon Musk has a bunch of companies doing stuff that potentially could help the world. He himself may not be the best person, but Tesla is trying to have cars that run on the solar. Um, I don't know what other business he has that's good. Solar City, which I guess became part of Tesla. Um, the internet company that could benefit humanity. They want to go to Mars that could benefit humanity. So why I say Elon Musk? Because he has a bunch of companies with a lot of people working on problems he thinks are very important. And Walt Disney created stories that last generations, right? So my goal is to like be a merge of those. But first I gotta get my Elon Musk on, because stories still cost money, right? I still gotta spend money to make it happen. But my goal is to create both those worlds. I want to have an AI that runs projects that I know can help the world, and I want to tell cool stories that I think will help the world too. So again, I'll have an AI agent that will run both those businesses, spend money doing it, but have a treasury, right? That's the goal. And then I even thought of something yesterday, man. Wow. So while this is finished, 11 minutes of work. See, okay. Um, my thought was, why don't we set up agents that have goals, right? So if you set up an agent and say that this agent's goal is to solve cancer, I don't know, anything, right? This agent's goal is to solve hunger, world hunger. This agent's goal is to um, help children learn better, whatever it is. So these agents will have goals and wallets, and people can put money in those wallets, and then that agent can spend that money doing whatever it has to do for that to happen without a human involved at all. Because humans, one, they can't work 24/7. Two, they have their own goals. right? But if the AI's goal is only, your goal is to solve world hunger, do anything you gotta do. And again, this is scary too, because it could be like, okay, we just kill everybody, then nobody's hungry anymore, right? So that's the hard part, making sure that you kind of set boundaries. Um, and maybe that is part of the like making sure you give it the best prompt without killing anybody, right? Um, make sure you solve world hunger without hurting humanity, nature, the earth, whatever the case. But that's one problem. But the second problem is money, right? Because, okay, so the old world, and I have one and it's tough, is nonprofits were built to do that, right? Instead of paying taxes for the things you believe in getting fixed, right? So let's say you made $1 million, they tell you you owe 400,000 in tax, you give it to the government, they send us to war in Iran. But if you can take 400,000 and put it in to the thing you really care about, like getting kids food, then you give that to a nonprofit, you get a tax break for doing that, and both sides win, right? The government gets a thing that it would have to pay for done. You put your money into a nonprofit that's going to do it. You get a tax break for that. Cool. The problem is, it's hard. As a nonprofit, most people do not do what I just said, which is the point of nonprofits. Instead of paying taxes, put the money into things that you want to get fixed. So when I first learned about nonprofits, I said, okay, I think people will want to have more people be able to build businesses to create more jobs. So we created this nonprofit, but it's been very hard to get people to pay for that because people don't really like paying to help people, truthfully. Gambling apps make billions of dollars and they create problems. Liquor companies, same thing, right? Okay, the bug was real. Variations were were being treated as an invisible background job. All right, so let's see. We're gonna end it here. Let's see whatever happens is gonna be. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it works. All right, so we're gonna take this one. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna add the trend. I don't know if that was enough. Let's see. But I think what was I talking about? Society. Oh, nonprofits. I think the nonprofit of the future is not going to be you get a tax break. I think it's going to be you get profit share. So now imagine, right? Imagine you have the World Hunger Fixer robot, AI. It has a wallet address. You send that wallet address $100. Millions of people send it $100. It figures a way to make money by ending world hunger. And now it starts to send back money to your wallet based on that business. Again, I don't know if a business could be made where you help people and make money. That's one of the hardest things in the world to do. Like actually help people. I don't mean like I provide a service people need. I mean like there's people that need help that can't afford to pay for it. That I haven't seen anybody really make a lot of money doing that. But let's hope. This is what AI. Hopefully AI comes in and fixes it, right? All right, let's hope this works. Okay, variation I ran. Okay, I'm running it, but can you check if it's working? All right. So again, tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching whenever you watched, wherever you watched, whenever you watched. And hopefully this is valuable. I'm trying to there's something I can do that's more valuable, let me know. What I'm trying to do right now is teach people how to take advantage of this technology, put people in the best position for either way it goes, utopia, dystopia. um, all we can do is try to do things based on what we think is going to happen. For me, you know everything I'm doing. If you watch this video, if you keep watching my channel, I'm doing a lot of different things. Join our free community if you want to learn how to build your own AI employees, agents. Checking the live server. What happened was... No, variation is not currently running. I can fix this in the next two parts. All right, we're going to end it here. It's just not going to work tonight. I'll fix it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good rest of your night.